All right, this is our little scrap wood area. It's kind of ridiculous, I know. But I like to hang on to wood so that I can use it again. A lot of this was salvaged from when we were building the house, just scraps of wood that ended up in the dumpster or in the lumber pile that was gonna get thrown out. So I saved it, and then, I don't know, a bunch of pallets that I've scavenged over time. But anyways, we're gonna pick some of these and we're gonna make our potato grow beds out of what we've got here. Okay, so my project for today is making a little grow bed for our potatoes to grow in. I wanted to do a grow bed this year because, I don't know, the frustrating thing about growing potatoes, to me at least, is you grow them in the ground, and then when you dig them up, it seems like inevitably you cut the very biggest one in half when you're digging with the shovel. And it just drives me nuts. So the last couple of years we've been doing things a little bit different. We've grown in buckets, and that way you can just dump them out and harvest them like that. And there's really no chance at all of cutting one in half with a shovel or stabbing one with a pitchfork, whatever the case may be. This year, I'm gonna do some in buckets as well, but I also wanted to try some grow beds. And what I think I'll do is, plant them in the grow beds. Then when I'm ready to harvest, I'll either just lift this grow bed off and still harvest kind of with my hands, or I may take off one side. Anyways, I'll kind of see how things look when it comes time, but I don't want to dig them up with a shovel anymore, so I think the grow bed will help me with that. As you can see, these are pallets, so there's nothing special about them. They're not anything remarkable, but they'll last a good long time, and they were free. So I like free stuff. So what I did is, with my Sawzall, I just cut each pallet into it's about 11.5-inch section. So I'll put those in place, and now I'll go ahead and start screwing them together. For these ones where they connect here, I'll have to put a 2x4 in there so that I can connect, and these will be solid lengthwise as well. Anyways, I'll go ahead and get to work. So on the corners, I cut the little excess pieces off that were right there like that. I don't know if you can see that very well. So I cut all those off on both pallets so that I can slide them together like that, and I'll screw them together tight just like that. So I did that on each corner. First thing I want to do before I start putting in screws is measure and make sure it's square. So the way I'm going to do that, I learned this from Mr. Beaver in my high school geometry class. If I measure from corner to corner, so opposite corner to corner, make an X shape essentially, then if the length from this corner to that corner is equal to the length from this corner to this corner, then I know that I've got a perfect square, or well, rectangle anyway. I know that it's square. That length is 97 inches. And this is 97.5 inches. So that means it's not perfectly square, but for pallets, I'm probably gonna call that good enough actually, if I'm just a 1/2 inch off. All right, I'm gonna start putting screws in. All right, so just a couple of 2x4s, and we're gonna put those here. in the center. Okay, so I've mostly got them screwed together now. I mean, they are screwed together, but one last thing I'm going to do to make it a little bit more solid between the two ends, because this joint isn't super strong right here in the middle. So I'm gonna add these strips of plywood that I had laying around. I'm just gonna screw those lengthwise to the ends right there, or to the sides. And another benefit of this is it will keep the pallets from breaking down a little bit longer. So the dirt and grow media, whatever we're using, we're going to use straw and hay for some of them to grow potatoes. But that stuff won't be directly on the pallet wood. It'll be on these this pieces of plywood instead, and that'll rot them before it rots the pallet. So it'll make the whole thing last a little bit longer too. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in place. All right, here it is, all put together. I'm gonna grab Kelsey and we'll haul it outside. You know, for a free grow box just made out of pallets, I feel like that's pretty good, and it should last a good long time. And we should get some yummy potatoes. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I ended up getting 3 of them done today. So there they are. I'll start planting potatoes in the next couple of days. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to see. We're going to use the hay in the trailer to cover up the potatoes and make it an easier harvest. One of the beds we'll probably do with soil, just so we can test how we like it and make sure that we're getting a good harvest compared to doing it with just soil. All right, see you next time.